So making sure that we're using the call aheads as we begin the year, because on our team, it's so funny because I love call aheads, but a lot of folks either struggle with call aheads or they struggle with wanting to do the call aheads. And so it's getting ourselves out of our comfort zone on something that's really going to help you be efficient with your time, make you well-rounded, and be able to really kind of, solidify your confidence, in my opinion. And then every so often, every month or so, maybe we can choose something else that we want to focus on, that we can teach on and then do live Q&As for. I've been on a couple, and there's just something, a couple of trainings here lately, and there's just something about a Q&A that like you really get to the nitty gritty of what you need to hear, what you want to hear. And I do want this to be interactive. I don't want to be talking to you guys. I hate that, like where it's like 30 minutes of us talking to you, but the more interactive we can be, the better, and the more fun it can be. So again, like for this week, it's call aheads. I've got a few call aheads here, or a few leads that folks gave us. Let me see here. I've only got one person. Asia sent me leads. So I can't do call aheads if I don't have leads to set appointments for you guys. So ask your teams, get on there, say, hey.
Some too, Laura. She tagged me in the same email.
Oh, she emailed. Okay. Well, texting would be good too, but email is fine. Okay, let me pull that up. But as we're kind of getting started, before I kind of get into it, come off of mute. I want to hear, since it's the first week of January, what was like this week a win for you, or a highlight, or something that you're proud of? Anyone just jump off of mute. I want to hear.
Hey Laura, can you hear me? It's Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, so I did a vision board party with my team last night, and I feel like that's a win for me because I haven't been very vigilant in the coming together area, just my team to do things. So I felt really good about having that last night, being able to come together and do those vision boards and just have that fellowship together.
Love it. That's good. And it's something productive. That's gonna, really help. And then you're getting everyone together. I love it. Anybody else have a win?
So can you hear me?
I can. Who is this? Who is this?
Olivia.
Olivia, what's up, girl?
So I had actually this week and last week, I had some good learning points with BP. But this week especially, even though with the holidays, it's been crazy, but we had a good learning experience on Wednesday, actually. We went to a house. It was a guy, he was 81, and he had like a caretaker, and he had like cancer, so like couldn't help him there. But Brittany was like, she's like, I want to help him so bad, and she was like so so set on wanting to help him, and I love that so much. And then we went to another house, and a lady, she was with State Farm in a term policy, and we were going to do a policy review with her, but she couldn't find her information. But we were able to help the husband, which was good. And then the last house we went to to help a husband and a wife. They had took out policies over the phone, and they wanted a more hold on baby, hold on. So sorry, they wanted like a more local agent, so we were able to help them get like a more local agent with us, and then help them with 2 policies, which was nice. So it's just been a really nice learning experience, and I think that I'm officially ready to go out and be solo. So I'm gonna have my first solo day today. I'm like super nervous, but I'm excited, but super nervous, but I'm manifesting that it's gonna be a good day.
Well, I love it. And everyone, if you can, like, go on the chat and tell her you got this on your first day, because that first day, that first week, you're like a deer in the headlights. You're scrappy. You're trying to find it all happen, try to make it happen. So hopefully this will, kind of help you today. And so guys too, save your questions, put them in the chat as we're doing it. Anything that pops up about something that I say or something that a client says, or question that you have about call aheads in general, and then we'll kind of go through those. My goal is to get 2 appointments set. If we can get 2 appointments set, that'll be good. Let me see here. And Casey has some anytime today before 3. All right, so I'm gonna start with Asia's first. And then I've got Kristen's here. So I got some people coming in. Crystal, heck yeah. And then just be prepared for next Friday. I may have a few of you all maybe battle out some stuff. It'll be fun. Let me first go to.
Hey, Laura.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to also mention, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I did send you an email. I'm not sure if you received it or not.
Okay, I'll take a look. See here in a minute.
Okay.
She's in the waiting room. It's very strange. She might be in the other waiting room, Brittany, because I don't have the waiting room on. All right. Jasmine says, you got this, girl. Okay. All right. So here is the phone approach script, which y'all should all have. And I love this script because, again, it breaks down the why of what we say. It's a little bit different than the door approach. And it's important. You don't want it to be so scripty, obviously, but you want to make sure that you're practicing it. That way, when you're on the phone, it flows. That doesn't mean it's going to go perfect every single time. And you might hear me stutter. You might hear someone completely hang up the phone, and that's okay. The cool thing about the call ahead is that you can do that and you can still get that lead that same day or later. It does not matter, right? And so you're getting the no's out of your way. You're, and get the thing with the call aheads too, is that you're getting your, what's the word? You're getting revved up before you even leave the house is what I like about it too. Okay, so let's call here. I'm going to call on, I have first, this is a digital lead. His name is Russell Shaw. Bear with me. 472, hold on. Not easy. Let's see. 215-5601. So everyone make sure your phones are muted, okay? And let's see if we can get this for Asia.
Hello.
Hey, Fred.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Russell. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's going on?
Hey, Russell. Sorry to catch you off guard. Hey, listen, this is Laura with Senior Benefits, North American, right down the road. I was actually just giving you a call back to let you know that we did receive the information that you sent us about the updated state regulated benefits and final expenses. And I just needed to verify the information that you put down. I do here have that your date of birth is May 12th, 1970. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let's see here. Your email is the Shaw 4673, Shaw R4673 @gmail.
4673. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I'm trying to see if I can see okay. And your address is 816 Stamper Road, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
STAMPER.
Okay, cool.
What company is this?
North American. So you had sent something in online requesting some information, and I was the one that was dispatched out to the area to get the information dropped off to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And so our mornings or afternoons usually better for you?
What you say now?
Our mornings or afternoons usually better for you?
I didn't. Oh no, say that one more
It's
time.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. Our mornings or afternoons typically better for you?
Afternoons and the evening.
Okay, got it. Well, I do have some folks that I have to see today, but since I was dispatched, I can make you one of my last stops today. Does between 3 and 4 work, or would 5 or 6 be a little bit better?
Probably about 6.
Okay, got it. Awesome. Well, I will make you one of my last stops today. I'll be driving a little Chevy, so I'll see you then, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, Asia. That's Russell. 5 or 6 o'clock. Hopefully that's okay. Let's see here. Let's see what else I have. Boop, 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 boop. Who is next? I'm gonna go to someone else real quick. I'll kind of go back and forth. So we got one out of the 2. So always make sure that you're giving yourself, hey, you know, I want to make sure that I'm setting one appointment before I leave the house. It gives you something that's trackable that you can do. Spending 30 or 40 minutes. You don't have to spend 2 hours doing it, but it gets you out of the house, gets you warmed up. Let's see here. So weird to see 2024 on these leads. Da, da, da. Let's call Jane Casino. This is for Casey Webster. All right, weird number, if I can read it. 631880. And so this is a dental memorial. So the first one was a digital platinum or platinum digital. And this one is a platinum memorial. 631880. Hold on. It's a weird number. 880. See doodle. 9613. All right.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right, I'm gonna
The
call
person you're
again.
trying to reach.
Let me see here. Let me check the chat. Texted. Y'all can hear me okay? Just making sure that y'all can hear. Hopefully. My phone feels like it's so low, but.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
One more time. I like to call 3 times. She has a New York number, so maybe if she answers this time, I might get yelled at, but let's see.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Okay. So we got a no answer. Let's call Bonnie Stalls. Six, 675 3537. Miss Bonnie?
Yes.
Hey, Miss Bonnie. Hey, this is Laura with North American right down the road. I was actually giving you a call to let you know that we did receive the information that you sent us about the state regulated benefits and final expenses for 2024. And I just needed to verify the information that you put down here. I do here have that your address is the 19 Castle Farm Road. Okay, and that you're 62 years young?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the good news is I was actually the one that was dispatched to the area to get that information dropped off to you. It just takes a few minutes. Are mornings or afternoons usually better for you?
I
I work in the afternoons.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the cool thing is today I've got a couple people I need to see after 3. So I can make you one of my first stops today. Just takes a minute or two. I've got between 10 and 12, or I can do like between like 1 and 3. Which one works better?
That's a good question, because right now I'm babysitting
I hear
a
it.
3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 10-month-old.
You have your hands full. Is there a nap time they usually have?
Huh?
Is there like a nap time they usually have?
So that's a problem.
But so you go to work in the afternoon. What I can do is, like I said, I got some folks I got to see it. Let me swing by, and if I see the door open and you got a minute or so, I can get this information dropped off to you, go over it with you real quick, and see what we can do to help you. Okay? Does that sound good?
I live at that address, but I'm not staying there.
Okay.
right this
Okay.
moment because,
Where are you staying at?
hold on here, Liz. I'm under North Carolina rebuild, so they're gonna tear down my house and put another one in it.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to motel, but I don't know the address of it.
Okay. What's the address that you're at right now?
Well, right now, I'm at 19, well, I'm 20 next door with daughters.
Okay. So
Right.
20. Okay.
But like I said, I've got a bunch of kids with me right this moment.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, what I'll do is I've got some folks I have to see before 3. I'll swing by, and if you've got the time, we can go over it. If not, I can just introduce myself, say hello, and we can kind of go from there. Trust me, I've got 3 kids. I understand. So,
I got a funeral to go to today, so I've got things I gotta get done.
okay, got it. Well, like I said, I'll just swing by it. If it works out, great. If not, then, we can set up another time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay. So it's like a iffy, but if she's got all of these concerns with like where she's living, we know that she's next door right now today babysitting. So it might be a little hectic, but time is of the essence. And, people will give you the runaround. So you just kind of have to control it and say, hey, you know what? I completely understand. I've got 3 kids too. Probably a lot going on, but it seems like there's always a lot going on. So let me just get this to you and get you checked off. So I would just go by there and then use the fact that you're right in front of them. You've already talked to them. You've already kind of built a little bit of rapport. And even if it's an outdoor presentation, or, you get a little bit more information to where you could actually sit down with her, to me, that's a win. So let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Oh, I had 3 times. Yep. 3. I know sometimes it's like cringe. It's cringe-worthy to call 3 times back to back. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, it feels cringe-worthy, but let me go ahead and do it because it gets me past that cringe-worthy feeling. And if they answer, then, it's like, hey, listen, I've got some people that I have to see today. And so I'm really trying to make sure that I get you on the phone, differentiate myself. Sometimes someone will answer 1 or 2 times because maybe they think I'm a spammer. So if I call that 3rd time, you can explain yourself that it's just trying to help you. So let me call 1 more, and then it's 8:50. So we got 1.5. I would call that an appointment. And then just know that Casey, she's right next door at 20, whatever that address is. This is for Bonnie Stahl. So she's at 20 Castle Farms Road in Castle Hayne. Let's see here. Let me pull another one. Uno momento. What was the next one that came in? Let me check my email. Boom, 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 boom. Of course, my email wants to be slow, and I'm drinking coffee that is like water. I would ran out of coffee this morning and had to use just a little bit of coffee to make my coffee. Sucks. Okay, my email is not pulling up. I have the worst service in my house. So sometimes text is a little bit better. Let me see here. Let's see here. Wilfred Rivers. This is a 2023, so it's a little bit older. It's so weird. 2023 is old. Let's call this one real quick. This is Kristen sent this one. She was the next in the text thread. Let's see. 747-2235. I didn't even realize, guys, it's 8:50 in the morning and we're getting luck. Early bird gets the worm. Hello?
Please leave your
Oh.
message for 9-1.
Call one more time.
Please leave your message for 9.
So this is a silver memorial.
Please leave your message.
Okay, so no answer. And guys, it really doesn't matter the type of lead, whether like sometimes I'll hear, well, it's an old lead. So, I'm getting a lot of, disconnected. Well, you know what? Well, if you go to the house, they don't live there. You've wasted an hour and a half probably trying to go to that lead. And then it's still the same thing. So you can go through a lot of leads and find out of your batch who still lives there, where the opportunity is, which is good. And then the same thing with check leads. A lot of people will say, because a check lead, I don't really have that much information. Well, it's got a phone number on the back, or if you can fast people search the phone number and you've got the address, still, you don't have as much to verify, but you can still verify, is this your address? This is your phone number. And fast people search should be your best friend anyway to find phone numbers, because just getting more of the information from them. Okay, let me try. Oh, we have our 2. Okay, so we did it. Okay, so it's 8:54, and I do want to respect y'all's time of keeping it like, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So let's kind of go into the Q&A. We can do Q&A for call ahead, Q&A from anything too from the week that maybe you had a sale that you missed, or whatever it is. So anyone have anything that they want to talk about? Any questions? Anything about objections? Even if it's you giving me an objection right now to role play it, what you got for me? You can either put in the chat or come off of mute. I want to hear from y'all. Don't be shy.
So yesterday I had a house that I had went to, and as far as like the door approach goes, Laura, how many times can someone tell you it's not a good time? They're not leaving for a doctor's appointment. They're not actually leaving. They're just like frustrated, and they just don't think it's the right time. What do you do in that moment? Or like, what are your responses to that, or rebuttals?
So, you want to role play it?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a door approach?
Yeah, this was at a door, yeah.
Okay, so
Asia? So do you want me to be the
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, sorry to get you off guard. Listen to me. Look, I just lost my train of thought too. Hold on. Sorry to catch you off guard. My name is Laura with Senior Benefits right down the road. You had actually just requested some help and information about your state regulated benefits and final expenses. Is this your signature right here?
It is. I remember doing that, but right now it's just not a good time. I've got some kids in the house. I've got some things to do. It's just really not a good time.
I completely understand. So when you fill this out and send it back in, I was a lucky one that was assigned to come out and get that information dropped off to you. It usually only takes me a few minutes and I can kind of get out of your hair. Would you like to sit in the outside? It's a pretty day, or would you like to sit at the kitchen table?
Yeah, my house is a mess.
Okay, so a little bit better at the outside.
Yeah, I got a few minutes. We can sit outside.
So, you want to those ones that you get that are, it's not a good time. Now, if they're telling me like 5 different times, like it's not a good time, right? Is that what you mean? Like, no.
Yeah, so I had that happen yesterday and I was riding with Brian. I was actually about to leave because she said like 4 times it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time. So I'm like, okay, well, what's a better time for you? And then he kind of stepped up and was like, hey, no problem. It was a beneficiary digital. He's like, I do see that you put Miss Brittany here on your lead for your beneficiary. Is that your daughter? She was like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, before I leave, he's like, I just got to ask you a couple of things. Do you currently have something to protect Brittany? Is that why you filled this out? She's like, no, I don't have anything. And he's like, okay, well, you don't pay any money today. You don't have to do anything like that. So if I could give you some help for about $1 a day, do you think that that would sound fair? And you don't have to pay any money. We strictly can show you options today. And then she came out and she was like, I don't have anything to pay today. And that's why she was trying to push, where I was just going to kind of reschedule with her. He asked the questions. So that was like a learning point for me because I would have left and just try to catch her at a different time. So to kind of ask those questions at the door that are uncomfortable to ask, sometimes I learned yesterday that's the sale we made. So
Yeah. So, I mean, you can definitely do that. So that's like, with being a beneficiary. Now, if you're newer, don't get caught like Brian, who's been here for freaking 10 years. And so he's really good at getting to the doors, really good at his presentations. If you're newer, just be a little bit careful because you don't want to get in the habit of like presenting at the door and not, getting, but if it's going to help you, like at some point, it's the thing is like, what else do you have to lose? If you're getting told no, go for it and say, you know what, is that the reason why you sent this in? Great. So, because you can go back and forth in rebuttal, but if they're not understanding or if like, then bringing in those questions are huge. So I would I wouldn't automatically try to do at the door because a lot of newer agents, you'll do that. You'll say, you get told no once and then it's all of a sudden it's you trying to present at the door. If they're telling you no a little bit and you're like, okay, it's a last ditch effort. All right, let me tell you and ask you these questions. And then that's what she needed. I think that's really, really good. Yeah. So don't be afraid to do that if, because if the whole point is not to set an appointment for later, it is to get in right then and there, and there are going to be times where it's like, okay, let me, come back later. Fair enough. Like this time next week or this time tomorrow or the next day is a little bit better. I can swing by if I see your car home. Fair enough. And then it kind of keeps it open. But that's really, really good. Anything else? Any more questions?
Laura, I've got one.
Okay.
So at what point during your presentation, so mostly talking about step 3 and 4, your living benefits, when you're doing what we call like the pre-underwriting, being the investigator, getting those prescriptions, getting those health conditions, you've gotten all that information, what they've told you, maybe what they've showed you with their prescriptions, and now you're going into actually writing the application on what was recommended from your in and up, but they've been declined from, we'll say, the 3 recommendations. What is your course of action? Yes. What is your course of action with getting those prescriptions or conditions that they may not have mentioned, may have forgotten about? What is it that you would recommend the first step to do
The
to
first
find
step,
out what the underlying problem is?
the first step is the underlying problem is probably not asking enough questions during the underwriting or taking their word for it. Or they'll say, hey, I don't I don't have this condition, but they really do have that condition. So a lot of people say, well, they're taking neuropathy or Neurontin or gabapentin, but I don't have diabetes or I don't have neuropathy. And sometimes the agent will be like, okay, and maybe they won't even mention that, right? Sometimes I think it's asking questions in Google, like literally Google your medications, because the more that you look up medications and why they're being prescribed, your job is to do the due diligence and to be the underwriter. And so you're not an order taker when they tell you this, and this. You have to dig. That way you can look at the whole big picture of their stuff. And if that means looking up their, their my chart and see what that says, because listen, I have been in so many homes where I have physically told people, this is the condition that you have. Your doctor may not have told you, or they may not have explained it, but this is the condition that you have. And so over time, that's why, like, I'll ask more questions about, well, why are they taking this? How long they've been taking this, asking a little bit of questions. And I feel like a lot of internet, I uncover more information just by asking more questions through the internet. So Jake, I go to Foresters in case you want to be very careful going to Foresters if they get denied, because they will use that against you. If you get a denial, go to Foresters in the case they have been denied. Yep. And so it's called placement. So you're going to be very careful with just saying, because they will tell you, which is great, but if it's declined, it can count against you. So like America, they will not count that. Like, you can go to them first, and if it gets denied, okay, that's fine. But a lot of carriers, they want to see that approval. So they want you to do the underwriting. Same thing with Great Western. And so, before you go to see if it gets denied, do all of your due diligence first. You can't stop every single denial that's going to happen. And some are going to be like, you're scratching your head, like, why is this getting denied? But you have to. It's looking at the health questions, looking at the medications, looking at the conditions, and then you doing your due diligence, and not only relying on your in and up, the person that's doing your in and up, to tell you what that condition is for. It's your job. Like, step 3 is to build value and find something that you can, like, give them value, like, save them money with this prescription. But it's twofold, and you cannot forget, it's even more important. It's underwriting. You're creating the picture of how you can help them through the underwriting process. So if you are getting a lot of denials or declines, then you need to slow down in step 3 and ask more questions. That's just really what it boils down to. And then if they continue to get denials, then it should limit the amounts that you get. And then when you have those head scratching ones, it's like, okay, well, they're going to happen here and there, but overall the problem should be fixed, because you're spending more time in step 3. So don't be fast, and don't be an order taker when it comes to medications and prescriptions. Slow down. Yep. Slow down to speed up. Gives an underwriting. Who said this? Foresters does penalize you. Aetna is great for this too. You can call Aetna after decline and ask why, and they will tell you exactly what the decline is for. Yeah. And the more you do it, and calling them sometimes, is great. Say, hey, this is a head scratcher for me. Can you give me some information? And the more you do that, the better. AIG gives an underwriting decision before payment is entered, and they should tell you the reason for denial if it's denied. Not sure if that's a good recommendation or not. Could be not. Yeah, it just depends on what the condition is. You just want to be very careful, but just as a rule of thumb, is going and saying, well, if they give me a denial, then I know. Like, just rule of thumb, because that will go against, and it's very hard. It takes a lot of time to get your placement up or your persistency up. So just be very careful. It's slowing down and trying to find the right carrier the first time, as much as you can. Yes, Brenda, use the declines to build urgency. There's something we were forgetting or missing. Do you have my chart? Yep. Good. Trying to see if there's anything else I missed here. 905. Any other one last question? My chart is great. And the fact that we can use that like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was not. I'm good. I don't need anything at the door, and they're persistent on not letting you in. Come back on a different day. Well, what is it that you don't need? That's a good one. And then point out, like, you fill this out. Remember, like, when you get that I'm good, all of that boils down to, again, you're not a robot at the door. So you have your door approach, but you're not a robot. You're a person. So you got to connect even in the first 15 seconds at the door. But it's putting it back on them. The responsibility is twofold. You're here to give them the information, but the first responsibility is that they filled something out, right? So go back to that. There was something that you were interested in, whether it was 3 years ago or 2 minutes ago, So kind of go off of that, I think is really big. It's like, well, because you did fill this out and I am here, I got to get this information to you. That will help with the I'm good. Or even like how Asia said, well, when you fill this out, was there something that you were worried about or concerned about when you filled this out? And see if you can get them to open up and then go back to acknowledge and assume. Go right back into, okay, well, because of that, it just takes me a few minutes, and then lead them to inside or outside, kitchen table or couch. So, all right. Okay. It is 9:07. Good stuff today, guys. And it is recorded. So I will post that. And then next Friday, I'll probably have maybe a couple folks go head to head against, so you can do the first appointment. So, all right, guys, you guys have a great Friday. Ciao.